So today we're gonna visit the Loro Parque on Tenerife.
Yes, Loro Parque, founded in 1972, 14 hectares big. It all started with parrots and lorikeets, and now they have the biggest collection of those birds in the world. That is, for example, a Pesquet's parrot. Never saw one before. They breed a lot with all kind of parrots and lorikeets and cockatoos. This is the highest level you can reach. They also do a lot of conservation work, so well done for Loro Parque. At the moment they have 4,000 parrots representing 350 species. Wow, that's really impressive. So we walk around there through this beautiful park, and it's not surprising you can find a Loro show as well, where all kind of parrots and lorikeets are presented several times a day. Parrots flying in the hall, and you learn about feeding and so on. Very educative. There's also a dolphin show. You might be against it or not. They have about 10 bottlenose dolphins, and you might know these dolphins from the opening scene of the hilarious moving Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy. White tigers, we were very lucky to see them very active. I prefer to see wild colored tigers, but visitors in a lot of zoos, they prefer the white tigers, so that might be the reason that Loro Parque has white ones, but very nicely active. Into the aquarium. While diving, you will never see a scene like this with so many clownfishes. No, they are not called Nemos, they are called clownfishes. And they live in family groups, but not as big as you can find here. They're all captive bred and put in one tank. And if so many, there's no need to fight for a territorium. Nice cowfish watching us, and garden eels. So there's a wide spectrum of aquarium animals to be seen. And there's the longest shark tunnel in the European Union. So there's quite some sharks to be seen. Also the adult zebra sharks. There is one. You might not know that Loro Parque is the main breeder of zebra sharks in Europe. It's not a very easy species to breed, but Loro Parque is very successful in having eggs and incubating the eggs. This is also very special, a bowmouse guitarfish. I love this species, but they are so expensive. They are not bred in aquariums, a male you can see. They are so expensive. You can buy a very good car for the money needed for a bowmouth, that most aquariums only have one. And that's a pity, because aquariums should really try to breed this species and not getting them out of the wild. So there's nothing wrong with getting animals out of the wild every now and then, but then you should try to breed them, I think. Not all tanks have live corals like the previous one. Here we can see plastic corals. And there's also freshwater tanks. This is a combination of Tanganyika cichlids with Malawi cichlids. The Ceruleus, I believe, is from Malawi. Nice frontosas we see. And of course, in such an aquarium, the piranha is a must to see. So the red-bellied famous piranhas. Here we can see an Amazon tank with large pacus. Here's a pacu. That is the vegetarian piranha. And also red-tailed catfish is there. That's an aquarium you can still buy every now and then in an aquarium shop, but gets way too big. In the corner, a sloth together with some tamarins, and also the giant anteater enclosure is quite special. You can see termite nests here where they can stick their nose in to get some food, but for the rest they walk on astroturf, so they are not able to dig in most part of the enclosure, but it can be kept very clean, and they had at least 3 giant anteaters looking well. Then we go to Planet Penguin, which is the world's largest indoor penguin exhibit. You can see no less than 80 king penguins, the biggest group in the world, outside of Antarctica, of course. And there's in this enclosure 3 other species, like Gen 2 penguins. There are also more than 50 rockhopper penguins and about 13 chin strap penguins. I believe that's the one in front here. So you can also see them swimming underwater. And then here we have some puffins, Atlantic puffins, very funny to see them. Also very rarely seen in zoos. He's a papagaai taucher. And then the first and last tank is the one for the Humboldt penguins that can be kept a lot warmer because they are from Peru and Chile. And also very special, they are kept together with cold water fish. A lot from the Mediterranean and so on, and if they are big enough they will not be eaten. These are silver moonies in a big cylinder, not as big as the one that exploded in Berlin, but where do you see so many hundreds and hundreds of silver moonies in one tank? It's not only an animal park, it's also a plant park. There are beautiful plumerias and you will have fun there. Let's not forget the orca show. They have 4 orcas. Again, you might be against it or not. I get goose skin when I see it. This is Morgan. I saw Morgan in 2010 when he was rescued, almost dead, in the North Sea. And now, years later, I see her again in Tenerife. So then I really got emotional, I need to say. Aquascaping in big. This is a very long tank with Amazonian fish and Asian fish in one tank, and even a sand waterfall. Some mangrove tanks with batfish here and the juvenile zebra sharks, which is also very nice to see all these offspring, but most visitors have no idea that it is so special. Then there's a lot of jellyfishes, and there's sea nettles here. This is the black sea nettle, for example, and I made a list. This is the purple striped sea nettle, then the egg yolk jelly. So there's about 9 species to see in the exhibition. And the next one will be the luminous jelly, the Leuchtqualle of Deutsch. And the last one you can see quite a lot in aquariums. The blue one with the white spots, it is the white spotted jellyfish, this one. The gepunktete Wurzelmundqualle, Phylloritza punctata. It's very difficult to breed jellyfish. You need tanks for the polyps and for the ephira, the larvae, if you can say, and they should not bump into the corners, so hence all the cylinders and so on. But Loro Parque is very successful. So again, we got lucky with a very active animal, and this is a jaguar, and it came towards us, and then like a photo model, this jaguar lie down and presented itself to us. Very cool. So dwarf hippo, pygmy hippo with African cichlids. I'm a little bit jealous that you are in such a climate, because you can keep this all in ponds outside and so on, and the fish don't die because it's not too cold and so on and so on. So very beautiful. Then of course 14-hectare zoo needs lions. So these are all quite pale lions. I don't know if we call them wild lions. And of course this big male needs to mark his territory. And how does a male lion do that? By peeing. Yeah, it is not different. So we end with the Catandra treetops. That is a giant enclosure with some beautiful birds and lorikeets and so on that are flying around you. You are really in the treetops there. Oh, so jealous again. This is Mississippi alligator, kept outside all year, and also the Aldebra tortoises you can see there in beautiful enclosures. Loro Parque, if you are on Tenerife, it is a must. So enjoy there and see you in the next Zoo Wild YouTube. Till then, bye bye.